So I was wondering about the difference between an excuse and a reason. I believe I spoke on it before. Can't remember what I said because I never really try to remember what I say. But if one is speaking to the truth of why something occurred, then that is not an excuse in the sense that generally an excuse is viewed as a negative term. You're making an excuse. You're making up an excuse. Oh, that's just an excuse. But if it is the truth, then it cannot be negative. And so if an excuse is a negative aspect, a negative action, then a truth is not an excuse. It is a reason. It is a truth. So at what point does a speaking to a reason take on a negative connotation outside of speaking a lie? And maybe that is it. Maybe it is speaking a lie. It is speaking a lie purposely, or is it speaking a lie by way of not speaking to the truth? Thus, if one speaks to a belief, if one speaks to their belief without giving an eye, giving an ear to the truth, then they are in essence speaking a lie. No matter how much you believe it, if you speak your belief about something and that belief is not the truth, then it is in essence a lie. Its life is only in the belief of you speaking it, but it is, once again, it is as a lie, and a lie is a ghost. A lie is a living dead. It has no true life. It's on air because someone spoke it, right? And if one was not there to speak it, then it easily dies. It doesn't exist, right? And even when speaking it, it is a living dead, right? It is not alive. It's not alive. It has no life in it other than the truth. And the truth speaks to it and says that the truth says you are dead. You are not alive. You have no life. You have no life. It is only by way of me that you have an existence. It is only by way of the fact that I am alive, that I am life, that you have an existence. And your existence is not life. It is a ghost. It is a phantom. So thinking, going back to this excuse and a reason. Well, I was thinking about my basketball players. If there's a situation where I can tell a player to do something, and there's a situation where I can ask my player why they did something. Right? If I ask them why they did something, why they didn't, they can give me a reason. They can speak the truth. They can attempt to speak to the truth more readily because it is speaking to an action that has occurred. It's speaking something that has already occurred. And so it takes them having discerning mind, a caring mind, a caring of truth to speak to it, to at least attempt to, even if they come up short. Whereas, once again, that's asking why or why not didn't they do something, right? And so it's speaking to a past action. Whereas if I tell them to do something, if I ask them to do something, and they tell me they can't, well, I'm wondering if that is then just giving an excuse, right? If they say they can't because of something, they are trying to foretell the occurrence of something before it even occurs. How can they be speaking the truth if they have not yet even attempted or tried to do it? And so that is what may be the difference between a reason and excuse. Excuse is something is something that one gives beforehand, gives them foresight of saying, well, it can't be done because. And you can't prove something before the fact. You can't prove the truth. You can attempt to speak to the truth. You can even look to the past for truth, but because we as beings are living in the now, which moves forward to the future, which becomes a now, and we have the ignorance of the future, which becomes a now, and thus we have the ignorance of the now many times. We can't speak to it fully in full truth of what can and can't happen. Thus, when I say, go do this, right, the appropriate response will be, I will try, right? I will move forward in belief that it can be done. I will give an attempt. And it will be an excuse, it would be an inaccurate, it would be speaking almost a lie to say that I can't because of something. That is an excuse. And that, of course, is a negative connotation because one has automatically defeated themselves before the truth has been shown.